Got some mindful meditation in, though. Feeling
Yeah,
good.
I noticed.
Yeah.
You were having mindful meditation time. Sandy looked like he was about to die.
Fucking
I was
crisis.
gonna- it's
I
so
saw,
long.
like, yeah, right when you start looking at the timer, things get bad.
Yeah, it's
just
like-
yeah.
these seconds are as long as eternities.
I look back and it's like 10. That was just 10 seconds.
It's like having an 8-hour shift and then
Oh, God,
looking at
yeah.
the clock and only half an hour has passed. And you're like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be here for the rest of my life. Well, welcome everybody. Episode 29 of Quizzicast is here and in your ears.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, guys? It's
good,
another
man.
lazy Monday.
Hazy Monday.
It is a hazy Monday. I noticed. Is it forest fire time? Is that what's going
that's
on?
the whole summer. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. I looked outside and I saw the orange glow of the sun obscured by haze and realized, oh no, it's that again. That has happened. Yes, probably down south in Washington too. I'm guessing.
More likely in California. I think.
Yeah,
more California.
everywhere. The entire West Coast is
Where there's a tree, there's a fire.
is just a burning hellscape.
It's like for Australia. This is great.
Yeah, the entire world. We are all doomed. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. We're just waiting for Yellowstone to blow.
Wait, is Yellowstone actually a volcano?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dormant volcano?
Yeah.
Yes. And active? Or is it dormant?
I think it's
I
active.
think it's
Well,
active.
okay.
Yeah.
So
And if
one of
Yellowstone-
these days.
Yeah, and apparently it's like a big enough volcano it could lead to another extinction level event.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, you didn't know this.
Yeah, no, that's
Happy
not,
Monday.
Sort of spring this on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds pretty fun.
Yeah. And it's probably going to happen sooner than the heat death of the universe. So,
Well, the heat death of the universe is like
Of the universe?
That's
like the entire universe?
yeah.
none of us are going to be around for
Heat
that.
death of the Earth due to the sun burning out.
No, but then there's the expansion of all heat within the universe getting to a point where the energy is so low on average.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's the death of the universe overall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think that's what Dark Souls is
that's
about.
that's over 50 years from now.
Over.
Yeah,
Right.
when you put it that way, you're not wrong. That's
Yeah.
not a false statement.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I said it.
It will take at least
I
50
never
years.
lied.
It will take at least 50
It's like
years
we could
for
say
the
we
universe to
live
die.
just outside of Vancouver, and turns out that we're in New York, and
Yeah.
that's outside of Vancouver.
I mean, I would argue the validity of the term just,
Well,
right? So let's get into that.
9
What
hours.
does just mean?
Just is a 4-letter word.
Yes.
Is used in the English vocabulary.
Can't spell justice without it.
Yes. You can't spell a few things.
just ice, man.
the name Justine, you can't spell without just.
Or Justin.
Yeah.
if you
That's
wanna
two
cut that-
names.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
If you didn't have the word just, you would be killing at least 2 kinds of people.
Yeah.
They'd just be gone.
Justice. If you get rid of the word, you kill all the people
It's true.
Yeah.
It's
that
true.
have that word in their
Yeah.
name.
It's like Back to the Future. They just start fading away. Fading out of the timeline. Okay, so earlier I said, welcome, it's another lazy Monday, but I almost forgot what day of the week it is, because, man, this fucking month's been a blur.
Oh yeah. What have you been up to?
Just trying to finish this video, man.
Which
Same
one?
as always.
The one that you sent me?
Yeah,
Right.
The
yeah.
most
oh
recent.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
More copy edits from Logan. Thank you.
Yes. Oh yeah. No problem. They're not really copy edits this time. It's that I just was like, why not this?
Yeah. Why didn't you put this in the? And then I added it to the video. So
Yeah,
thank
that's
you.
Good. I'm glad.
Copy
it's a-
addendums by Logan.
Addendums.
Yeah, I had to, well, we might as well say what it is. Yeah, I had to get footage for Thief and add it to the video after I finished the script.
Oh yeah.
And-
So you have to get that running on your computer.
Yeah, and actually it wasn't as bad as I thought. So I tried.
There's Thief Gold or something.
Yeah,
right? That
I have gold, which I think the only difference is that it adds more levels, and purists have told me it messes up the flow of the missions,
Oh,
but
really? Okay.
I've never played the game, so I wouldn't know.
Fair.
But yeah, so a year ago I bought it and tried to get it to run, and a few things were not right. So aside from the things that you would expect from an old game running on a modern PC, like the resolution is messed up. This looks horrid. Like, it's stretched. Everything is really low resolution. So aside from the usual stuff like that, everything was running at like 4 times speed.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it actually made the game 4 times as terrifying. I started up the first level. Well, I went through the tutorial, which was very fast and very disorienting.
Speedrun,
yeah. And it took me a little while to realize something is not right. This is not how the game is supposed to be. Everybody is running around like...
Yeah.
And then I played the first mission. Lord Belford's
I've only played
Manor?
the second Thief.
Okay.
I have not played the first Thief.
Metal Age?
Yeah, is it the Metal Age or is it... It might be the... Yeah, I think it's the
I think
Metal
so.
Age. Yeah.
So this is the Dark Project, the first Thief game.
Yeah.
Came out sometime in the 90s. I can't remember the exact date.
Yeah, sometime.
Probably before System Shock 2. Maybe.
No, after.
Oh, after?
Yeah, it's made by the same guy who made System... Oh, wait, it's made by someone from this team of System Shock 2.
Okay.
No, wait. It was made by Warren Spector, I think. I think Warren Spector, who was the lead behind System Shock 2,
that sounds
Thief,
correct.
and Deus Ex. He went from Thief to Deus Ex after that.
Okay. You know more than I do.
I know a lot about Warren Spector, actually. And Ion Storm, the company that I think made Thief. Or did Ion Storm not? No, Ion Storm just made Deus Ex. I'm sorry, continue talking about Thief 1.
Well, I'm going to take us on a second tangent and say that, by coincidence, fun fact, something that I learned this week that's very strange. So I was playing Thief, and I can't remember where I read it, but apparently the composer for Game of Thrones, man who wrote the theme, and as far as I know, has scored all the music for that show, worked on the music for System Shock 2 and some of the older Thief games.
That's cool.
Which is kind of crazy. Anyway, let's go back to Thief.
Right.
So this was a year ago again, attempting to play Thief for the first time, loaded up the first mission, and trying to get into the manor. We have to break in and steal something from some rich guy. And the guards are, I get to, like, I think, you go through the sewer, and then you infiltrate the mansion, and you start out in the basement where, like, all the wine is, and there are these, it's like the big storage area beneath the mansion, and the guards are running around at 4 times speed, like through the halls, and it was actually
hilarious.
It was like, it was very funny, but also, like, very frightening, surprisingly. Because what way to make a stealth game way harder and way more suspenseful than you have no idea, like, when, like, because normally in Thief...
Every guard is Usain Bolt.
Yeah, exactly. So normally in Thief, you rely on sound a lot in the game, like hearing people through walls and knowing, okay, this person is about to come around the corner, so I shouldn't peek this corner.
Yeah, everyone's wearing high heels in that game.
But when everybody's running that quickly, you can't rely on that. You just have to blindly go around corners and just hope that he is not coming towards you on his current light speed lap. And I did that for a while before realizing, there's a patch you have to download to make this run correctly on Windows.
Yeah, I feel like... Did you get the Good Old Games version? I think that one...
I got the Steam one, actually.
Okay, yeah. I think the Good Old Games one, that's the one I got for Thief 2. And it ran perfectly right away.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, so I think...
Steam version does not.
Yeah, Steam version of most things is pretty garbage. Like, even I played Riven on the Steam version, and it was pretty garbage.
I have the GOG version of Riven, and it kept crashing on me.
Oh, really?
So, unfortunately...
Maybe that's just Riven.
It might just be Riven. But they are putting out a remaster of all those games. The big 25th anniversary thing. And I normally never do this. I think the only Kickstarter project I have ever funded was The Long Dark.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like a low tier, like, $20 gets you early access and whatnot, because I thought the concept was so cool.
Yeah.
The only other time, which was like a month ago, that I've poured a bunch of money into Kickstarter was for the Myst remaster.
What level did you go?
The one with the book and the animated LCD screen or LED screen. So about $300 US.
Oh, holy fuck!
Gets me a real Myst book.
Oh man,
I'm leaving.
Does it have the face in it and stuff? Does it have like every scene from the game in it?
It has all the yes.
Choose.
You can choose. Yeah. There's a bunch of built-in
pages. Give me the blue if you find the blue pages.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think you can load in your custom videos, which is great. But it comes with a whole bunch of presets, which I think are all just island flybys.
Garbage.
So
garbage. I want. Or hey, if you find
give me the blue pages.
Do not trust my brother. Bring me the red pages. If you find the red pages, bring them to me.
Bring them the blue pages.
Do not bring him the blue pages. Do not believe
Do not bring Cirrus the Red.
And I just want that on loop, and you just put it in your fucking room playing.
That'll be
loudly,
the first.
and
That'll
you're
be
like,
the first thing I do when I get that. I think that ships in September.
You must find the blue pages.
Anyway, maybe Riven will run fine once that comes out. Anyway,
Play Riven on it.
yeah. Oh, you can't play it on the book.
Yeah, you have to be able to play it on
The book stores the DVD copies of the games, but it doesn't. You can't play the games on them. It's not like that.
And you spent
DIY
$300 on
Yes.
this garbage trash fire.
But I have a real Myst book, or I will have a real Myst book.
Blue pages.
Yeah, I can't remember what I was talking about. Thief. I ran it again recently, and even without the fix, it just ran fine. But I still had to use the fix to record it with OBS. Anyway, long story short, I played Thief again, and actually got past the first few missions, awesome. And man, really cool game that holds up in a lot of aspects.
Definitely, yeah.
One thing that struck me immediately about playing that game is how it feels like, for the most part, it isn't explicitly going for a horror theme, but it just conveys that through the gameplay and through the sound design, especially.
Mild spoiler, it does go in the horror route later.
I know it does later. But it does lean more into that, especially with like the haunted cathedral and the hammer haunts and all the stuff that I know comes later.
Yeah. But
even just outside of like just the way, just the soundscape of that game and just how
it's moody.
It's very moody and very sparse. And yeah, just surprisingly creepy all the way through.
The Metal Age especially, I went in playing the Metal Age just going, oh, I liked Deus Ex. And I was like, that was an old game when I played it, right? I'm going to be Mr. Historical Man and play whatever they made before this. Right, and that's when I found out about War Inspector and stuff, and I played Thief 2, because I heard it was better than Thief 1, or at least it was everything Thief 1 was, but then just they iterated and it became better. And so I played through that not knowing it went in the horror direction at all. And Metal Age has this like very abrupt change at one point where like magic gets introduced and you get teleported to this like otherworldly plane where there's just these like plants with eyeballs on them that follow you around the room. And I was like, I'm scared now, and I was just playing a thieving game. I was just trying to steal things from the rich. Spooky ass game. Especially the low fidelity graphics made it creepier.
It does.
Right?
Yeah. You almost get maybe not an uncanny valley vibe, but because it's not close to looking human at all, but yeah, I don't know, something about it. I feel the same way about Majora's Mask almost.
Yeah, I'd say Majora's Mask like leans into this pretty heavy.
Yeah.
It's like looking at old Chuck E. Cheese robots.
Yeah.
The virtual version of that. They're not real robots, but they're so creepy.
There's something endearing about that. I don't know if this is how I would... This isn't how I would describe it, but on a related note, Matthewmatosis did a video on Majora's Mask, and he mentioned how even though graphically that game, looks really outdated by today's standards, there's almost something charming about that. It's almost like watching an old movie on a VHS tape, where those scan lines and that VHS fuzziness almost adds to the experience in a weird way.
Yeah. Although it's hard to argue for that when you like came from the era that the game was released in.
That's true.
Like, it's hard to argue that it's not nostalgia. You kind of have to find someone who didn't grow up with that game, and they have to play it and also like it.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't grow up with Thief, and I got a similar vibe from that game. So
yeah, but it might be just like that you are nostalgic for that kind of art style, or
it
that
could
kind
be.
of like low fidelity graphics. Right?
It's hard to say,
because like this is coming back right now in just the way that like music kind of goes through cycles, and like right now, like usually jazz comes back at certain points, where like 80s is like really in like the mainstream of music right now. Right in games, an aesthetic style that's coming back is like PS1 era graphics.
Yeah.
Right. Which is really interesting. I think Normal is a horror game that just got released by a small team, that is basically you wandering around this kind of corrupted PS1 era landscape. But yeah, it's interesting to see how kind of aesthetic styles are coming back. First we went through pixel art. I mean, we're still in pixel art, but
less so now though. Yeah. I've noticed that too. There's a handful of devs I follow on Twitter who, yes, like their game looks like something from the PS1 era, which is cool. It hasn't lost its novelty for me yet.
Yeah, definitely not. And I think it works when you have like modern technology doing old styles. right, is they get to do a bunch of like interesting, fun things with that.
Yeah, like you can conform to that interesting style, but not be limited by it, or by hardware limitations that would be associated with it.
Yeah.
It's cool. In other news, I have a short anecdote. So this isn't related to games at all, but I wanted to bring this up because it's in the real world, and I want people to know that interesting things happen to me in the real world sometimes.
This is
Like
a lie.
that time you happened upon a fidget spinner with Sandy.
Yeah.
Yes.
That light that apparently lit up by
Yes.
Matt's claim.
It should have.
Yeah.
It didn't, and I was very disappointed.
Well,
Anyway,
we don't always get what we want.
sometimes you get what you need, but
So Matt left his house.
I left my house. This is like the second time in a row where I've just kind of locked myself up while trying to finish like stuff for the channel, which I don't think is particularly healthy, but I just want to get it done. Anyway, I have been going out and doing a lot more running.
Oh, yeah. From what?
From my deep-seated fears of my
Yeah,
past.
millennial humor. Move on.
I'm sorry.
There's a track not too far from where I live, and that's where I go to run, and it's nice. And normally, depending on the time of day you go, there's not too many people there, although it's been worse lately because it's been too hot in the middle of the day to really go running. So I either have to go very early in the morning or late in the evening, which is where that's when everybody else comes to run.
That's when the demons come
That's
out.
when the demons come out. Normally it's not bad. It's just a whole lot of people walking on the track. But every once in a while you get the tribe of walking, as I like to call them.
Ooh.
They're like a local clan that takes up all 6 fucking lanes of the track.
Like locusts.
And they just seem to be completely oblivious or willfully arrogant of you running behind them and trying to pass them. Anyway, I'm exaggerating a bit. That doesn't happen too often. But something happened. I was running at the track a couple days ago, and I was like 20 minutes in or something, and then out of nowhere, this older guy, and I think it was, so it was a couple and their kids, and the kids looked like they were about like 8 or 9 years old, pretty young, little shrimpy kids.
Fucking pipsqueaks. I could beat the shit out of them.
Fucking pipsqueak. Well, I kind of wanted to. We'll get to that.
Okay, yeah.
So one of them had a soccer ball, and the other one had a hockey stick, and they come out onto the track.
Not
and
great at sports, these kids. They don't understand.
They
those two things don't go together.
And the field. So right now this field is closed for renovations, which I think just means, hey, the grass is fucked and we're trying to fix it before the fall comes and school's back in session.
Right.
So please stay off the grass. And so I'm running around the track and these 2 kids show up and one of them just starts playing soccer just in the middle of the track, which I'm like, okay, whatever. I can deal with that. That's okay. Whatever. The other kid, like 5 minutes later, gets up on their like bleachers on one side of the track, obviously, but they're not like metal seated bleachers. They're like, I'll try to describe this. No, well, it's like a series of it's like a wooden frame that has created like the series of steps up, but like where you would sit is just like dirt and grass. I
know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Okay.
So it's on like a mound type of.
Yeah. But
okay.
and they've made it so it's like it has steps to it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's summer now, so all that
called a
grass
rice
has. Okay.
No, it's not.
Yeah, they do farming on it. Yeah,
It's a burial mound. There's Vikings underneath.
Yeah, something like
It's
that.
both.
It can be whatever you want it to be. I don't know, because right now it's nothing. It's dried up and it's just dirt and dust.
Okay.
Because it's the middle of the summer and nothing grows.
And it's
on it.
hazy.
Yeah, it's very hazy. This is setting the scene for you.
Right.
So this one fucking kid gets up onto these quote unquote dirt bleachers, takes his hockey stick, and as I'm like running past, he starts like just shoveling dirt onto the track and just creates like this cloud of dust. Like he's not shoveling it onto me, but he's
okay.
Like not directly onto me, but as I'm like about to pass the starting line again, there's just this huge dust cloud that this little fucking kid has created. I'm like, you motherfucker. And then like his parents like a few minutes later come by and they're like, Look, you motherfucker, don't do that to strangers.
Oh, I thought,
Listen here, you little bitch.
I thought they were gonna walk up to you and just go, "Look, he can do what the fuck he wants." Okay.
Look, you're on his track.
He recently,
Mother, I wish to make clouds.
he recently saw Mad Max and he really liked the action scenes.
Yeah, he like started like shoveling up the
Mad
dirt,
Matt.
and then he put on like a bandana and goggles and started running around.
And then
in it.
literally shot his brother in the
and then the sparks flew from the end of his hockey stick.
Just like the little like,
Yeah.
And one of his parents came over and gave him a right good talking to, and then
Firm
pointed over to the
fist in the
basketball
jaw.
court
Oh yeah.
as if to say, "Go over there and
play basketball with your hockey stick.
and
your
your
soccer
soccer ball." Yes, don't throw dirt onto the
I
track.
feel like it's these parents' fault. They're just like, oh crap, we got kids, but neither of us have ever played or watched any sports. Let's just go to the sporting goods store and just buy one of everything.
Yeah, why not just buy a few different things and see which ones they latch
Go
onto.
play your sports in the sport court, please, son. Okay, we know we don't know a lot about sports. We know the hockey stick's not for dirt.
Make sure you don't run into the sport poles with the sport baskets on it.
Exactly. Okay.
The designated sports court. Yeah, and the other weird thing that happened was about 10 minutes later, the dad was just in the middle of the track, and like, I don't know if he had something stuck in his pants or something, or if he was just trying to adjust, but just took
thought
his
you were
pants off for a second.
Wait,
Wow.
Readjusted, and then put his pants back on.
Did he take them all the way off, or did he just?
Yeah, it was like
all the way off
yeah.
to the.
I do that on the
ankles.
train
Yes.
sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Then he said, "Well, okay, fixed," and then put them back on.
what kind of underwear did he have?
They were like
Boxers,
boxer briefs.
boxer briefs. Yes.
Good choice.
Yeah, that's sensible.
That's what I roll with.
It's a good power move out in public.
Yeah.
He was asserting his dominance
Yeah.
on
Was
the
your-
track.
Was he overweight?
No, well, late. I wasn't really paying attention. I was trying to
okay.
fucking.
Why weren't you
run.
staring at this guy's dick, dude?
I totally would. Right. You just like right when they're off, you just go. You just like lean right over. Like,
Yeah.
Very
Yeah, it's like
Just
make it as obvious as possible.
oh, man, I'm glad. Like, oh, don't.
That's pretty big.
Don't let me stop you.
Impressive.
By the way, stop your fucking kid from hitting dirt everywhere.
oh, looks like you
Put your
guys brought
fucking
two.
pants back on and be a goddamn parent for once.
Looks like you guys brought 2 hockey sticks.
Fuck.
Yeah. That's
Anyways.
what I got up to.
Oh, what have you
Yeah.
been up to, Sandy?
Bro, I've been like fucking angry and shit.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I played this game called Absolver.
Oh yeah,
It's fucking good.
that's the fighting game, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
can chain
Yeah, yeah.
chain shit. So it's like you're choreographing it, and you're like actually coaching an MMA fighter almost because you're making these combinations up.
Yeah, and you can coach other players, right? You can become like mentors.
Yeah, you
with
can
one
you can start a
another.
school. I haven't gotten that far yet. I did.
Yeah.
I just played like an hour of it.
Yeah,
So I got through the tutorial and like beat some of the mini bosses they had.
pieces of shit.
Some pieces of absolute garbage.
Yeah,
So yeah, that game's fucking great.
yeah. I was looking into it. for
I'm
a
gonna
while.
get back into it after I'm done with this fucking exam.
I thought you were gonna say this podcast.
This fucking podcast.
Once this fucking podcast is over.
No, but like Absolvers, that's like I think that'll be. We discussed. I know we're probably gonna get to it at the end of the podcast. That's probably gonna be in my top 3 indie games
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Wow.
yeah. I've heard really, really good things. I have a
really good.
friend who also is very much into martial arts, and he's been really enjoying it as well.
Yeah.
And when it was first, I remember reading a like magazine article about it, like 2 or 3 years before it came out or something, and it was just like 3 screenshots, and then I
Yeah.
read the description and I was like, this is so crazy ambitious, and there's no way they're gonna pull this off. They're like, it's Dark Souls but a fighting game, and you make up your own, like it's like deck building as well, but
Yeah.
with martial arts. And I was like, and oh yeah, and you'll like randomly drop in and out of other people's fucking games, and you can either fight them or learn from them.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, this sounds amazing. No way is a small team gonna pull this off. And they came out, and yeah, they totally fucking
Yeah.
pulled it off.
I feel like it's less like Dark Souls and it's its own thing.
Oh,
I
definitely.
think.
I'm saying Dark Souls from the drop in, drop out thing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
It's never like a shit ton of people. I think you get put into a same server with
Yeah,
like 5
yeah.
or 6 other people.
Exactly.
And that's it.
So yeah, it's. I saw those Dark Souls comparisons online, and I was like, but then I played it. It was way better, and I feel like the UFC game should have done this instead
Oh, yeah.
of doing what it did. Like, because anytime you think fighting game, it's like two guys facing each other from a side view, and I feel like this would have been way better in a UFC game.
Yeah, it was, and some of the fighting styles are really interesting. Like some of them, you like face your back to the opponent. And
Well,
stuff,
no,
and,
that's one of the stances.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
So
there's 4,
there
right?
are different styles too, where one's more balanced, where it's speed and strength equal. One where there's more speed and less strength.
Right.
And one, I think, where there's more strength and less speed.
Yeah.
I went with the more speed and less strength because I actually know enough from watching UFC that I like fighters when they're making small strikes,
Right.
but they're like 25% power, 50% power,
Right, and like
rather than throwing
whittling down
haymakers.
their opponent.
Yeah.
Rather than waiting for the one opening for the knockout.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I set it up that way, and then I was able to completely choreograph it. And then I've been like working on shadowboxing myself.
Oh, cool.
So it's like I made a deck with my moves on it, and then I took some moves from it for my own workout. So it was really cool. It's like more than a game. It's like coaching me.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
It's cool.
It seems awesome. I really like everything I've seen from it. I still on my wish list. I just never ended up buying it.
Yeah, it was free on PlayStation Plus.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool shit. Maybe I'll pick that up actually. Then.
Yeah.
Shaolin shadowboxing.
The Wu-Tang sword style. If what you say is true, the Shaolin and the Wu-Tang could be dangerous. On guard.
I won't pick it up because I don't
On
have
guard?
a PS4.
I'll let you try my Wu-Tang sword style. Bring the motherfucking ruckus!
Oh God.
Yeah.
That echoed so much.
That's how it go.
Oh my god.
That's how it go.
This actually segues.
That's how it go.
This segues pretty
Wow.
pretty
Easy for you to
nicely
say.
pretty nicely into the other story I was going to bring up, which is I installed Skyrim again.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck is Matt doing with his life?
So 50% just because every once in a while, I don't know if you get this.
Todd Howard whispers into your ear and says, "Join me."
Yeah, it's really
Tamriel, not Cyrodiil. Fuck. Cyrodiil's a province of Tamriel. Fuck.
end the podcast. Yeah, no, I was going to ask you
Call
about
the
this because
police.
it's really disturbing. I'm trying to get to sleep at night. It's like 11:30,
accept
and
it.
like Todd Howard just goes, Skyrim. Yeah. Skyrim.
Howard Alexa.
100 different endings.
Okay, so how's Skyrim?
76.
Does it still hold up? Are you playing the DLCs?
We'll get to that in a second. I actually never played the DLCs.
Neither have I.
And I'll have to now because
But I have to now.
I have to.
I bit the bullet and bought the special edition because turns out a lot of mods that used to run on Skyrim Vanilla aren't supported anymore, or you need the DLC to run them, which I never bought.
You had all those
for the
sex
original
mods
game.
too.
Yeah.
None of
those titty physics.
They wanted those HD textures because they were tired of those blurry nips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Blurry nips, blurry dongs.
Titty physics, but like also Amy Rose's head.
Yeah.
On every single female
Yeah.
I just had a really stupid thought, which is a Skyrim mod that puts Aphex Twin's head on every single NPC.
What does Aphex Twin's head look like? I'm not familiar.
Have you not seen the cover of his album? The covers of his albums?
No, I just know.
Okay, well we'll look them up later.
Okay.
Anyway, so 50% of this is just every once in a while, like every 6 months to a year or so, Skyrim's one of those games where I just get this weird urge to install and play it again. I don't know what it is.
It's Todd Howard.
It's like it's probably Todd Howard.
I
I'm
don't
probably
get
cursed.
you guys. Like, why would you? That's so weird to have an urge to play a game like that.
Especially one that you've already played before.
Well, okay, no, keep going.
It happens to me with a few games, but they're usually
I just found a game it happens to me with.
okay.
It's fine.
Okay. But yeah, that happened recently. Maybe it's time to play Skyrim again.
Yeah.
Why not? So that was half of it. The other half was I needed to reinstall to get footage for this new video.
right. Oh yeah, right.
So anyway, boot it up. This is where this relates to
This new video is
to
about Todd
MMA
Howard.
and fighting. I've decided to do something that I
Amy Rose.
What?
Oh, MMA and fighting.
MMA.
I thought you tangented off the Amy Rose
No.
reference.
No,
Wait.
off of the
That's
fighting.
the girl from Sonic. That's a bat thing.
What? Where? When was that mentioned? What?
I said Amy Rose and titty physics on every female in Skyrim. That's a mod he has.
Okay.
It's okay.
I thought. I mean, it's Skyrim. You got to
My
bring
mic's
it up
not
no
loud
matter
enough.
what.
That's what the problem
And
is.
it's that you did a deep Sonic cut.
Yeah.
Right. And
I should have just said Tails.
Yeah.
Or Knuckles.
Yeah, or like some
Shadow.
or fucking Sonic.
or Sonic.
Like if you're gonna make a reference, like try and make it as broad as possible, right?
That's
Like
Okay, MMA and fighting in Skyrim. Go.
Yeah, so this wasn't a response to you doing an unarmed build in Oblivion, but just coincidentally aligned with that. I'm doing an unarmed build / playthrough in Skyrim.
Fucking plagiarist. All right.
Yeah. That's, I gotta cite you on that. And man, okay, so I have a few things about this.
Does that even work in Skyrim? Is
It
there
works
an unarmed
very
tree?
well. It works exceptionally well.
Okay.
They don't really support unarmed like they might in previous games.
They did.
But I think it seems a lot more viable than it was in,
There's probably a
in
mod you
Oblivion or
can do.
Morrowind.
Yeah.
So what I did is I went with normally people tell you to go with Khajiit because they get 15 extra damage. They've got every race
claws.
they have claws. Every race in Skyrim, for those who don't know, has like intrinsic perks they're like passive things that you always have.
Yeah. Argonians can breathe underwater.
Yeah, Nords are resistant to cold, and so on. So yeah, Khajiit have claws that give them extra unarmed damage. I installed a mod that just gave that to Argonian as well, because I thought Argonians have claws, and for some reason I wanted to go with
Argonians don't have claws.
because I thought they looked cool.
Argonians don't have claws?
No.
What is
Okay,
this?
well anyway. Anyway, that's what
You're
I
breaking
went
Todd
with.
Howard's beautiful tapestry. You're tearing it apart with your shitty Argonian claws that don't exist.
Sorry, Todd.
I'm going to report this to the Todd Council. The Council of Todd.
It's just 12 Todd Howards.
No, it's just Todd Howard.
It's like the Council of Ricks, but it's Todd Howard.
No, it's just one Todd Howard, but he just likes to refer himself as a council.
And he's at a long table with like 11 other chairs.
Yeah, except they're empty chairs, and they're all the people who don't deserve
What
this
have you done to
position.
my beautiful game?
Yeah.
Okay, so Khajiit claws 15 extra damage, and then you take there's a heavy armor perk called Fists of Steel, which adds your gauntlets armor rating on top of your unarmed damage. And then there's also an enchantment you can put on your gauntlets, which I think you get it from somewhere in Riften, like in the sewers or whatever, like when you go to meet the Thieves Guild.
Yeah.
That adds more damage on top of it. And pretty soon, like, unarmed is actually very viable and does more damage than a lot of even mid-game swords.
That's cool.
Which is kind of nuts.
Yeah, I'm into that.
And it works very well for a few reasons. Number one, the combat in Skyrim has never been great. And even when it came out, like it's never been good.
Yeah.
And I've never been able to find like a really good balance with it that I've liked.
Yep.
Because the sword and shield combat is really bad and boring. But then on the other side of that, on the flip side, you have like stealth, thief, bow and arrow, which is incredibly overpowered. Like you have stealth attacks.
It's also far more engaging than the melee combat just because you feel like you're actually affecting the world.
Yeah.
Right.
It's way more engaging, but it almost feels like too powerful.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you're killing most enemies in the game from like a mile away with like a 20 times damage headshot.
Yep.
With the arrow.
Well, I think it's maxed out at 6 or 12. Maybe max is out at 12. Right?
Maybe I'm exaggerating, but it
like
feels
the
like that.
dagger stealth attacks, I think, go up to 30,
that
30
too.
times.
Yeah. It just gets insane. Like the way you can abuse stealth in that game and how powerful the stealth and archery perks are.
I think my character in Skyrim was a stealth, but I refused bows. I was like, I'm just going to be Dagger Man. And I like stealth Dagger Man and then went into illusion so I could give myself invincibility. And so I could just like, there's like one major quest line where there's like a bunch of cultists trying to summon some demon, and they were all like standing there, and then I just went around and literally slit every single one of their throats as none of them noticed what was happening. They were just like, man, these people's throats keeps exploding, and
That's kind of strange.
Better keep trying to summon this dude.
I guess it's just the will of our Daedra Lord.
It then bugged out the game because they were supposed to react to me at one point, and then I couldn't complete the quest. And I just left, and I was like, "Fuck this." Anyways, continue your story.
Yeah, no, that sounds like Todd Howard's perfect game.
Yeah.
So unarmed is a surprisingly and also I've never really liked magic. It's just never really clicked with me for whatever reason. I did try it with this build. Like it's like a mix of unarmed and magic, and I got some decent spells that seemed like I seem to be enjoying magic a little more. and seem to be doing it better, but still, like, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of magic in the Elder Scrolls games, but Unarmed is like a pretty good balance between it's powerful, but certain enemies are still a challenge, and because you have to get right up in their face, you are exposing yourself to a lot of damage. So I feel like it's a pretty good, like, it's a good happy medium between that really overpowered archery build and just the boring as hell sword and shield combat.
Yeah.
So that's one reason I'm enjoying it a lot. The other reason is that it meshes really well with some of the moments in Skyrim that are supposed to be very serious.
Oh, yeah.
Or very moody. One example of that was exploring a Nordic tomb and having a bunch of, like, ghastly spirits show up, like, ooh, stay out of our tomb.
And then you just punch them in the face
and then I just
die.
suplex them. Just, like, shove their fucking heads into the ground, and it's great. Like there's a bunch of custom animations for Unarmed.
You can actually suplex people?
Yes, you can suplex ghosts. You can do that now, and that's great.
Oh, that's good.
Or like a fucking, like, you get to the end of a lot of Nordic tombs in Skyrim, and there's like a what do you call them? They're like the skeleton zombie people in the crypts, Draugr. Yeah. And like usually at the end of the tombs, there's like a very powerful Draugr with a huge sword and armor, and he can also use dragon shouts on you. Just walk up to him and just like take him by the neck and then punch him 3 times in the face, and he dies.
And the crazy thing about that is that they plan for this because there's like wrestling ropes everywhere in the world, and it doesn't make any sense when you're not playing an unarmed build.
Okay.
Right? But then when you do the finale, your guy will just like, he's on the top rope, and then he like jumps and does a fucking like just fucking tombstones this guy to the fucking ground. It's insane. And it's like, I didn't understand why these fucking wrestling ropes were everywhere in the world, right? I was like, what was Todd Howard thinking? What was his like beautiful machinations of his mind weaving within this like pretty tapestry called a video game?
It was this,
right? And it was fulfilling the wrestling fantasy that we all wanted, right?
Do we know Todd Howard's preferred method of playing this game, whether it's unarmed or stealth?
He plays himself. There's a Todd Howard class and an option for that. Yeah. And you just go in.
He enters in his Bethesda login into the menu screen, and he just shows up on screen.
Yeah, and it's a photorealistic, like much better graphical fidelity than anything else in the game. It's why the games are so buggy is because it's constantly processing his like photorealistic rendition, but just not showing it to the player. It's just for Todd to feel that.
Yeah, because his Quad Titan X SLI rig can handle that.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that was my my revisit to the land of the beautiful land of Tamriel.
That's good.
Yeah, and then I also did a second build that was also unarmed, but it was more thief and stealth focused, which was also pretty fun. But yeah, similar thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I've never done that before, so it was cool. Like it almost felt like a fresh take. I never tried that before, so yeah, not bad.
Good,
not bad. Skyrim is okay.
It's great.
Yeah.
I've always loved it.
Always will.
It's the greatest game.
Yeah.
Game of the year every year.
Every time we talk, you can't stop singing the praises of Skyrim.
Like
to me.
I put in the show notes, the internal show notes every time that I want to talk about Skyrim, but these guys just talk about their fucking indie games every day.
To talk about. Yeah.
Speaking of indie games, I've been playing La-Mulana 2, which I brought up on the last episode. I had not played it yet.
You found the moon chant finally?
Yeah, fucking moon mantra. So I've had a real roller coaster of a time with this video game.
You look so stressed out.
Yeah. I honestly, it's bad. This like
you look like this is your full time.
This
job.
game, this game, man, I don't know how to feel about it anymore.
Do you want to continue playing this game?
I don't. That's why. That's the conclusion of the story.
I'm sorry, I spoiled it.
Yeah. You got me back. This is my fan man.
Yeah.
So I got La-Mulana 2. I was very excited with the rose-colored glasses that I had of my memories of the last game, where I was like, oh man, the last game was really fun. But then I ended up looking up the solution to a puzzle, and it kind of like killed my motivation to play the game anymore. And so I was playing this game, and I was really enjoying it. La-Mulana 2 is really excellent, especially in its like first once you're past like the initial puzzle, like I got stuck on the first puzzle like a fucking idiot for like an hour and a half, and then after that the game opens up a shit ton, and I forgot how big these games were. La-Mulana, I forgot how massive the fucking world was in it, and La-Mulana 2 keeps that size, and I made it further into this game than the last one, and made me realize how much bigger this game was. Big problem with La-Mulana 2.
Okay.
It's that, and I should have known this going in. I knew it going in, was just like, there's a thing in the game. You have a little like computer that you install apps onto, and then the apps give you more information about the game world. One of them is Text Tracker, and you can basically copy any text in the game into this app, right? And that, I was like, right, I remember there's a bunch of clues to puzzles in the game that are written on things, so you can put them in the Text Tracker app. What I should have been doing was not just saving them in the text tracker, because I was like, oh, I'll just save everything I read in the text tracker, so if I need to solve a puzzle, I'll go back through it, right? Instead, I should have been actually writing them down, because I forgot that this game is bullshit, and that the one major design decision that I think fucks the game is that the text tracker has a limit. There's like, you can only have like 100 things that you can track, and then beyond that, you have to overwrite shit, right? This was fine for literally, like, I think I'm about 70% of the way through the game before I've now lost my motivation to complete it, and I'm pretty much at a point where I could finish the game, I think, on my own volition, but there's one point that made me not want to do it anymore. So I was going through the game resolute in that I would not look up the answers to any puzzles, right? And I was doing really well, and then I got to a point where I got into like 65% of the way through the game, and I was so fucking stuck. I wandered around this massive world for so long, just trying to figure out where I could go next. Like,
was this different from the Moon Mantra? Was this something?
Yeah,
else?
This was beyond the Moon Mantra. Okay. Yeah, this is much further than the Moon Mantra. Actually, I made it very far into the game, but so I was stuck in that I knew where a bunch of puzzles were, but This is the kicker. There was one big puzzle. There's a room with the god Brahma in it, who's like an Indian god or something.
Yeah. Creation of the universe.
So exactly. So there's his creation engine. Basically, in the lore of this game, Brahma was a computer that then created a bunch of races within the world, right? And you get to this room, and it's obviously a big puzzle room. And the thing that really gets me is it's very similar to like a Riven-esque puzzle. So this is a puzzle where you can tell it's a puzzle. You can tell this puzzle has to do with a shit ton of lore in the world that you have to kind of parse out, right? And it has like the color shit, and there's like several stages of things you have to do and understand within the world. It's basically the marble puzzle, but it's more steeped in lore, but it's less steeped in situational lore, like, oh, I read the world and I kind of understand these things about the culture, and more in, there are 5 tablets that are around the world that are not labeled, that you have to copy into your text tracker basically at some point, and remember that these ones were important, and then write all that shit down, and then also go to like 5 other positions within the world that have these things that relate to those tablets, write all those down, and then then go to the puzzle room and actually figure everything out, right? So I'm okay with that last step, figure everything out, and I'm not okay with the fact that I had to remember where these 5 tablets were, because I knew which tablets related to this puzzle, but I did not remember what they said. I had 2 of them in my text tracker. I spent like 6 hours running around trying to find these fucking tablets, and I found 4 of them, and I did not find the last one. And it was in some fucking room that I just wasn't, and I was not about to just go through every room in the game when there are literally hundreds of these things. Also, the game, as you progress through it, gets harder and harder. They flood the rooms with more and more monsters in every area of the game, and this is an end game puzzle, and so all the rooms are full of shit tons of enemies, and it's like it's like pulling my fingernails out of my hand to get to these fucking tablets, right? And it's awful. It's just fucking atrocious. So then I look up the answer to the puzzle. It's like, it's exactly how I thought the puzzle would go, right? With a few things that, like, it would have been a fun puzzle to solve if I had all the pieces. Instead, you have to spend all your fucking time running around getting all these fucking things. God damn it. And so I solved the puzzle, and then immediately the same thing happened to me again, where I just lost all want to play the game. I was like, this game has beaten me. I couldn't complete your game, Mr. La-Mulana. Very sad. Yeah, and it sucks because I had a lot of good time with that game. It's hard to say I don't recommend the game either. I'd say I recommend the game, but if you're playing through it, literally take a piece of paper out and write down every single thing you find, and then that's not fun.
Yeah, it's homework.
Yeah, exactly. This is why I say that one decision is like you can break that design decision of like you can't store every text piece that you read in the game, right? By just writing it down on a piece of paper. And if you can do that with a mechanic that's so integral to the game, why are you restricting it? Right. And it ends up just being a net negative to the game's experience, where I'm still solving the puzzles. I still feel like I'm like exploring these ruins if I have everything written down, but I don't have the tedium of going to all these fucking rooms. Right. It's super frustrating.
It's like a really arbitrary restriction.
Yeah, so that's why I'm kind of sad about it. I was really into La-Mulana too, and then it just kind of ended. My experience with it ended on this very sour note, and it just kind of bummed me out. On a better note, on a very good note.
Very good. Whoa.
Very good note is Canada.
Okay.
Canada has an exclusive soft launch of the video game event of the fucking century.
Oh.
Old school RuneScape is on mobile.
What?
Only in Canada.
Whoa, okay.
Excuse me?
It came out last week.
This is what you foreshadowed earlier.
Yes, when I said rune and then cut myself
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I just found this out today.
Okay, where the fuck did this come from?
I don't know. I knew they were going to be releasing it on mobile, but then apparently they were like, yeah, we're going to soft launch in Canada last week, apparently. And so yeah, you can play RuneScape on your phone only in Canada. We're ahead of the world. We're ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
So
I think that immediately puts like 20 years. That puts us 20 years ahead of the rest of the world on like the tech tree.
Yeah. Civilization.
Yeah, like after
RuneScape on your phone.
like on the tech tree, it's like RuneScape and then like rocket powered cars that can take you to Mars.
We're almost there.
Yeah.
Canada's almost there. But yeah, so this is going to become a RuneScape Guild podcast as of next episode.
Okay.
When we're all playing old school.
Make sure to get the show notes all in order for
I'm going to be the chef and the lumberjack of the guild.
So is it the original creators of RuneScape?
Yeah, it's made by Jagex.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck it, putting it on phones now.
Yep, and it's old school. So it's 2007 RuneScape, the old one.
Okay.
And it's their like crazy like fan service game where basically a bunch of the fans were like, RuneScape sucks now, make it look like the 2007 patch, exactly this one. And they're like, okay. And they just like they literally released that patch as old school RuneScape.
That's great.
And then they've made it a community effort to like vote in which aspects of the later patches get added in. And it's now like, I think it's more popular than normal RuneScape now, which is hilarious.
Well, also normal RuneScape just doesn't exist anymore.
Well, now there's RuneScape 3 because old school RuneScape was RuneScape 2 because RuneScape 1 was the one where all the characters were 2D, but it was so old that no one remembers it. And RuneScape 3 is like crazy different. It's basically trying to be like World of Warcraft.
But if I got shut down.
Did it?
I think so.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It'd be weird if they're still calling this old school RuneScape then. That's why I'm like...
It is the only RuneScape.
Yeah,
now.
Exactly. So why wouldn't they just rebrand this as RuneScape again?
Look at me. I'm the RuneScape now.
The only one.
So yeah, those are my very sad week in indie games for me.
RuneScape and La-Mulana.
Yeah, well, RuneScape's kind of... I probably won't actually play RuneScape on my phone, but I downloaded it just to see what it's like. And yeah, it looks like RuneScape. I walked around the tutorial island first room, and I was like, yeah, that's RuneScape there.
Yep,
That's
still got the logo, still got the...
it's the same login
2007
screen.
torch.
The same like yellow font that it has. Yeah, it's great.
I love that loading screen. One of my favorite loading screens in gaming.
When you mentioned that you were stressed out about La-Mulana 2,
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say, I hate the fact that I have to play as a girl now.
No.
That's what's weighing on you.
Yeah.
That's what has been weighing on you. Anyway, so La-Mulana.
God, there were some really good puzzles in that too. Like I had a few moments, right? Like there's like a few like mapping puzzles that were really cool, but Jesus.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
The girl fucked it up.
Girl fucked it up. Why couldn't I just play as a dude?
10 out of 10. Game of the year.
Yeah.
Why don't you
Play Steven's Sausage Roll if you want puzzles.
Oh yeah, that's a good game.
Or play fucking Riven if you want puzzles. Or play fucking Fez. Fez does this better than La-Mulana, I think.
Wow.
But yeah. I don't know.
Thanks, Phil Fish.
Sucks.
Play Monument Valley.
Monument Valley's not the same.
It's better.
It's good.
It's not really
It's
comparable.
better.
It's not really
Yeah.
comparable.
It's
I know,
not-
but it's
got-
better.
I've got like I got that fucking bug for fucking environmental puzzle games, and I just
environmental poison.
poison.
Yeah. Freudian slip of the century.
Yeah.
And it's like nobody's making Myst games anymore. The Witness already came out and I finished it. And it's like, God, I just want to fucking learn.
Yeah, you already had the new Cyan game spoiled for you, Abduction.
Oh yeah. But I played also like Quern, which was that indie version of Myst,
Yeah.
and that basically scratched that itch at that point.
I still haven't played that one.
I like really, it's excellent. Like it only kind of loses steam at the end, but everything up till then is awesome.
I'm just looking forward to playing the real-time 3D recreation of Riven when that
That's
comes out.
never going to
in
come
20
out.
years.
Never going. It's going to get a DMCA like in 3 years.
It's gonna come out after the heat.
Oh, they're
death of
working
the
with
universe.
Cyan on it.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, Cyan.
Still never going to come out.
Cyan. Yeah, like it's not going to get taken down by Cyan, but it's also probably going to take a fucking long time for them to actually finish it. Because they have to camera match everything.
If you want to like an environmental puzzle game,
Yeah.
Aladdin for MS-DOS is great. It's a good game.
Yeah?
That's like isn't that like an adventure game?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not like, that's the thing is I'm not super into point and click adventure.
Okay, then I think no, it's not point and click.
What about
It's just
Dungeonman 3?
it's a platformer.
Oh, wait. I think I know.
Yeah. Or if you're not into that, I think Lion King for MS-DOS is also very good. It's the same game basically.
I played a lot of point and click adventure games when I was a kid, and then sometime in the mid 2000s I stopped because that's when I was picking up. That was when I was playing a lot of Nintendo games, and eventually got into Call of Duty and got my first Xbox and all of that. My first
a real
modern
gamer.
system. Became a real gamer,
Real hardcore game.
and yeah, I'd like stopped playing point and clicks for a while, but then the game that got me back into point and clicks and reminded me, oh yeah, point and clicks are kind of neat, of all games, was Dungeonman 3 on the Homestar Runner website.
Oh, dude, yeah, that game's sick.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Wait, was it actually the third one, or was it a joke that it was the third one? Or
They made-
was
so-
there Dungeon Man 1 and 2?
As
I
far as
remember
I-
playing a Dungeon Man game.
As far as I know, they only made 2. They made Dungeon Man and Dungeon Man 3. They skipped 2.
I knew there was a joke in there somewhere.
Dungeon Man 1 was just a pure, what would you call that?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Basically, just text, just a text
Yeah, it's a
adventure
text
game
adventure, yeah.
with no graphics at all.
Okay, I played both.
It's
of
just
these.
a
I
command
remember
line
this.
game.
Yeah.
Where you roam around a dungeon, and the third one was like Dungeon Man 3 subtitle "Behold Thy Graphics."
Yes.
And it was
And it had
fantastic.
the graphical little thing at the top.
Yeah,
and
everything like these huge scan lines and everything is in sepia tone.
Yeah.
but it was great. And it was also like I guess it wasn't really a point and click, but it did have screens to it.
Yeah, I mean, it was basically still a text adventure, but it had screens.
It was the first real text adventure I ever played, and I got stuck in that first room where there's like spiked walls coming in on you for like a good half hour because I'd never played a game like that, and just nothing I typed
And
in
if I remember that game, a lot of the solutions are jokes as well, so it's like harder to get.
And there's a lot of points in that game where you can just die for like no reason whatsoever and then have to start over again.
That is the game that got me into text adventures, because I played that and then I was like, that was cool, and I'd heard about a game called Zork through Call of Duty Black Ops.
Oh, right, because it was
you
in
could play it in
the
that,
original,
and I remember
yeah.
like doodling around with that in Call of Duty Black Ops. I
forgot about that.
Yeah, it was a great Easter egg. But then I ended up playing through, not all the way through Zork, because Zork's really hard.
It was also on the same terminal where they had a hidden zombies mode where you played from a top-down third person.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fuck, I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, it was crazy. I think it was more arcade based than well, I guess Call of Duty Zombies is pretty arcadey, but he was even more arcadey than that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Arcade.
The first Black Ops was really fucking cool. It was a good game.
Yeah.
It was a good
Yeah,
Call of
I'd
Duty
agree.
game.
I think it was a cool game. I love their menu. That's the only thing I remember
cool
from Black
too.
Ops.
Yeah,
That's
like
the menu.
to get to the terminal where you found these Easter eggs, you had to like break out of your
Yeah.
leather straps.
God, that
were
was
tying
such a
into
good
the chair.
idea.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh man.
And then you switch over to the zombies mode, and like the room changes,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
person behind the
Oh yeah,
glass
starts like
is a zombie.
Yeah. Fuck.
I don't like it.
You didn't like it?
Never played it.
Fair. No. I.
Fuck off.
You
this
should play the
podcast,
menu.
Andy.
The menu on it's legit. Menu's real good.
I was weird in that I just played bootleg Nintendo games, NES games, and then I went right to Spider-Man 2 for PS2.
That's a bit weird. Yeah.
Yeah. But I had that MS-DOS phase where it was like Aladdin for MS-DOS and Lion King for MS-DOS. We just had this guy who installed games on our computer when I was very young. He's like, here's some kids games. And now if you go and get kids games, they'll just illegally download GTA Vice City for the PSP for your child.
That's what you do.
And God of War too, like where they're fucking.
Yeah, I got God of War as like too young of a kid.
Yeah.
Like I should not have been playing God of War.
There's fucking in that game.
I know, and I was like, as a early
Did you watch
teen,
the fucking?
I did. Well, I mean, it's not in the game. Like, there's just tits in the game.
The camera pans to the right, and then button
No, I'm pretty
prompts
sure
appear
there's
on screen.
doggy style fucking in the game. What?
There isn't.
There's
the
not.
camera does pan
Yeah,
away.
it definitely
but you're right.
pans away.
There are tits, however.
I must have been on.
are
the
And you
wrong
do get
website.
experience orbs for having sex with the women.
Okay, I must have.
It's
been
an
on the wrong
awful
website.
game.
Don't. The new one looks good.
The new one's apparently very good.
I haven't played
not
that
made
yet.
by the same guy who made the first game.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also,
was
different
made-
voice actor for Kratos.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it makes sense because Kratos is older and grumpier.
Yeah.
He's a changed
Yeah,
man.
I think it was led by Corey Balrog, who
Yeah.
was the lead gameplay designer of the old games.
Is it Corey
no, it's-
Balrog or Barlog?
It's Barlog, but I always say Balrog. But yeah, the first game was led by David Jaffe.
Oh yeah, I don't like David Jaffe.
Yeah,
he was on the tester as a judge.
Oh yeah, fuck. Oh man. God, I forgot about that fucking show. That was such a sad show. Oh my god.
Way to video games.
Just
Have you seen that edit?
yes. Oh my god.
Way to video games.
Damn it. For people who don't know, The Tester was a reality TV show that
On PlayStation.
Sony PlayStation put together to release on their PlayStation Network store on the PS3. It was an awful trial where like 8 contestants were chosen to make fools of themselves for 8 weeks in order to get the lowest job in the games industry, which was to be a QA tester on video games. At no point were they asked to test the game except for the finale of the show where
really?
they were asked to play a video game once.
Oh.
There was like the very finale episode. They were like, you have to beat this level of Jak and Daxter, then like this level of Uncharted, and then like some other Naughty Dog game. And it was like, that's the only time they were asked to like play a game, or they were just asked to finish the level. They weren't even asked to find bugs. These people were not good candidates.
Yeah.
One of them was fucking Ego Raptor.
Yeah.
I think he got kicked out in the first episode.
Okay.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
He got kicked out in like the third.
Ego
or fourth.
Raptor was also on Dancing with the Stars at one point, I think.
A YouTube version of it. Yeah.
Pretty
Not
crazy.
not the real.
Not the
Dancing
real
with the
one, but
Dancing
still.
with the tube.
Pretty interesting. I remember that there was a way better... I mean, it wasn't really comparable to The Tester, but it was a game show where kids played video games. And
I know what you're... well,
it was on YTV.
Yes.
Which is...
Nick Arcade.
I don't know if I can't remember what it was actually called, but okay, so for
Yeah.
those who don't know,
It's probably comparable to Nick
YTV
Arcade,
is basically the Canadian version of Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's where all
They
the
didn't have
Nickelodeon
YTV?
cartoons...
I'm an idiot.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, because when you go down to the States, if you've ever watched American television, it just is the Cartoon Network. Or it just is like the Nickelodeon channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
As far as I know. Anyway, they had a show on YTV that was basically a bunch of young kids, like probably like 12 years old at least, or like 13. And they got like a few at a time. And I can't remember exactly how the show was structured, but basically it was kids racing through single player games. Pretty old ones too. There was like some Game Boy games, some like there was like a mix.
Yeah.
And they basically it was a race to get as far as they could in their respective single player games. So they weren't competing directly. It was like, oh, this kid is further than everybody else. He got to
And it would happen like throughout an episode, I feel like they would check back in on the kids.
I think so.
Like they had other segments where they'd like talk about a new game coming out or something, and then they would come back and they were like,
Oh, right,
like
yeah.
Kyle is up to the 3rd temple in the Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening.
It was a cool show.
Yeah, it was a super cool show.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
I disagree. It was terrible.
I mean, I was
you
a
didn't
kid
watch
when I
it?
watched
Never
it.
watched it.
Yeah. It was that show that I enjoyed a lot, and it was also staying up late, and when my parents didn't know, watching Adult Swim and Most Extreme Elimination Challenge,
Yes.
which was a fantastic
yes.
show.
That's the greatest.
God, that was such a good show.
Kenny Blankenship.
Right you are, Kenny.
Well, let's get it.
What was the original show? The original Japanese show?
Takeshi's Castle.
Yeah. Takeshi's?
Yeah, Takeshi's Castle.
Yeah, I should go back and every once in a while, it's one of those things I go back and like look up clips of on YouTube.
MXC. It's the best.
Yeah, every time a contestant would walk up, they would like have a really bad dub.
Yeah,
They were like,
yeah. It's the Butchers versus the fucking...
Oh, yeah, and they had teams, yeah.
It's the Butchers versus the Night Nurses.
And And like every contestant would say something silly when they walked up, like, I'm trying to pay out my cell phone bill.
And the general would be like, how many of you would like to beat your meat? Or stuff your hole?
Right you are, Kenny.
What was the other guy's name? Do you remember?
I can't remember.
Kenny Blankenship is the name.
And then, I forgot.
Kenny was the crazy guy. The guy who was like
the young protege of the older guy.
Keep talking. I'll look it up.
I'm going to talk about a podcast I've been listening to because this is a podcast, and I'm going to recommend a podcast to all of our listeners.
Your good driver listeners aware?
What? Yeah.
Go listen to that podcast instead of this one.
Everyone should listen to a podcast called Find, Share, Rewind. It's a podcast that only has maybe 6 episodes now. I don't know if one's been released since. But it's hosted by a man named DJ Shadow. DJ Shadow was one of the pioneers of the sample music movement. He had a phenomenal album called Introducing, and he's released good albums since
It's an excellent album.
It's such a good album. Anyways, Find, Share, Rewind is him basically playing a bunch of music from his record collection.
Oh, okay.
And it's 2 hours, and he has like 30-minute sections. There's no ads. And it's just like each 30 minutes has like a theme, and then he plays music related to that theme. He has a legend segment every episode where he just plays music by an artist who he thinks is a legendary and very influential artist. And then after that, a bunch of like artists who are influenced by that artist and plays their music, right? Very, very cool.
That sounds
awesome to listen to. I've found so much music through it. Like even some of the legends, I didn't know who they were, and like listening to their music, you're like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Oh my god, the Beatles.
And he plays things from such crazy broad genres. He says himself that this show is aggressively diverse. Like I think the first episode starts with some incredibly moody and dark electronic music that's like usually like 12-minute tracks, right? And then that moves into like modern hip hop and rap, right? And then that moves into I think like Jefferson Airplane, and then stuff by Jefferson, like people who were influenced by Jefferson Airplane, and then into like soul and like 70s kind of protest soul and funk, and then into a final section, which the last 30 minutes is always free form, where he just kind of plays stuff that he likes, usually still attached to some sort of theme, but it's more kind of scattershot. Highly recommend it. Yeah. Super, super cool.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, it's called Find, Share, Rewind. You can find it on any good podcasting network. And yeah, it's got like 5 episodes out. And I think he did it for 8 months last year. And now he's releasing them like every week. So yeah, I think there's going to be 8 episodes total. But very cool. Anyways, what was the thing you were looking up?
Oh, just the other guy's name.
Kenny Blankenship and
Vic Romano.
Vic Romano,
Vic Romano and Kenny Blankenship, along with the Field Marshal Captain Tennille.
Captain Tennille.
And the field reporter Guy LaDouche.
Oh, God, fuck.
The announcer, that's the announcer doesn't have a name, it's just the announcer. Right. Anyway, yeah, so look those 2 things up.
MXC and Find, Share, Rewind.
Yeah, there's 2 very different recommendations.
Hey, it's scattershot, you know?
Yeah.
I was downtown recently and I saw some guy walking. He had like it was either Beat Street or some different bag, and he had purchased a DJ Shadow record.
Yeah, I saw Introducing in the record store recently, and I thought about buying it, but then I didn't. Although recently I got 2 Weaker Thans albums, which fucking awesome. Very stoked. I didn't know they printed new album. Well, I didn't know they did another print of their albums, but I got Reunion Tour and Reconstruction Site, which are their best albums, and I now have them on vinyl because I'm a goddamn hipster.
You're sitting next
I should
to
have
my
brought
turntable.
the albums. We could have just played them.
Yeah. That reminds me of there was a musician. He wasn't huge, but he did beats for. If you've ever heard of a rapper named Wax, he made beats for him, and I think actually he had worked with Anderson .Paak before he blew up, but he was a producer who specialized in hip hop beats. His name was Elements of Music, or EOM. He actually passed away recently, rest in peace. But he put out something kind of similar to that, but in song format a couple of years ago. Actually, it was a long time ago. It was back when I was still in high school. It was called The Long and Winding Road Volume 1. He didn't put out a sequel to it, but it was basically a 45-minute mega mix of both hip-hop beats that he himself had produced, mixed with Flying Lotus and all these other influential artists who had influenced him in his production and in his musical taste. It was really cool.
Yeah, it's really interesting to listen to these people who have been so entrenched in music all their lives. Like, one interesting thing in one of the episodes is like he brings in cassette music. So he's like, here's a bunch of music that you can't find anywhere else. It's a bunch of cassettes I've found from shops around like the world when I've been traveling. He goes like, most of it's terrible. And he's like, and here's a cassette that I opened a tour with, and no one ever pointed out how strange it was. On the cassette, all that's written is Will. And then he plays this song, and it's like an amateur singing about like how he's in love with this woman with eyes like Aphrodite, and he's like never on key, and it's like incredibly charming. Though it's so strange to listen to this music that it's just in this little format. Like you can't find it. I've googled lyrics to so many of the songs he's played, and then you just can't find them. And I'm like, oh damn, I guess I just can't find this music.
That's one thing that's really cool about record and cassette culture that you can't get from streaming is just discovering those records that don't exist anywhere else. They're just in some in some bargain bin in some record store somewhere.
Yeah, I have like one record like that, and it's the Mr. Dan EP by Mr. Dan.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And
bring it next time. We'll put it on the.
It's great. It's actually such a good song. It's only like one. It's got like 2 songs on it, and then the same song but with no lyrics. It's just the beat.
Oh, it's like a single.
Yeah, it's a single.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's like it's got like it's more of like a very short EP with a single track of the like head track on the back without lyrics over top of it, so it's just the beat, so you can use it in like backing tracks and stuff like that. But yeah, I gotta go through bargain bins more often because I had a really good experience with that one. So,
yeah, we used to have on previous episodes of this podcast, we would Derek would go to Beat Street and get some records from the bargain bin that just looked interesting or had interesting album art, and then we would just throw them on the turntable.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to do that again at some point.
Cool.
That brings us to our regularly scheduled segment of this podcast called Sandy Asks a Question.
Oh shit. I don't have a question.
Oh, okay.
Eat.
Okay.
I think new listeners get very confused when they hear that music and that introduction every single time it happens. It's like a rite of passage.
Yeah, it's like... I have 2 questions.
Oh, okay. You went from having no questions to now you have 2.
It's like, Dungeonman and Dungeonman 3.
Impressive. Hang on, I'm just going to grab something while you explain
what are you going to grab?
Oh shit. It's really far away actually.
If you could be in any fictional universe, which one would it be? I know it's a lame question, but like...
My instinct was immediate Hotline Miami. I was like, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, don't do that.
Be in you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Oh no. Also, like the east coast of the US gets nuked.
Yeah, it's not a good
spoiler
world.
alert.
Yeah. Spoiler alert after I've set the spoiler.
Yeah.
It's like that game's been out for a while. I think we're allowed to leave that spoiler in.
I haven't played it yet.
Sure.
God, fuck.
Didn't play it.
Didn't play it.
I think we've got the title for this episode.
Didn't play it.
Didn't play it.
Never played it.
Never played it.
What? I mean, the obvious answer is the magical Todd Howard world of Tamriel.
I was about to say that, you fuck.
Fucking piece of shit. Give me the blue pages.
I think I've answered this question before in a previous episode, like a very, very long time ago. And
Okay.
I think we all agreed that the answer was not the Fallout universe. It was not a good choice.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's definitely not that. So what is it?
Tamriel would be a good one.
Tamriel's a good one.
The Elder Scrolls universe would be a good choice.
I'd be the only Claude Argonian.
Right, yeah. Only one, because it's not in the base game. What the fuck, Todd Howard?
Yeah.
If it wasn't Elder Scrolls, though, what would it be?
I'm trying to think of like a game I like to hang out in.
Yeah, just to be in.
Yeah. I think like Breath of the Wild is really nice.
Yeah, that's a good one. Maybe Animal Crossing.
I've never played Animal Crossing, but I agree.
It's a pretty pleasant.
Yeah, just aside from fucking that guy who extorts you for your money.
Also, Mr. Rossetti's kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
If you're a kid. Mr. Rossetti, I was gonna bring this up at some point, but I couldn't find a good way of fitting it in. But yeah, Mr. Rossetti was really spooky as a kid. The mole in Animal Crossing who pops up in front of your house whenever you reset your game without saving.
Yeah.
And then also, I was terrified with the redeads in Legend of Zelda Wind Waker and Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I was like deathly afraid of them when I was young. And
What things?
Redeads.
What the fuck are those?
The zombies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the ones that scream at you and they paralyze you.
Yeah, okay.
And
Oh,
they-
you were scared of those?
Yeah. Yeah, no. As a kid, yeah.
I was scared of the owl.
He turned his head all the way around.
Yeah, that's creepy as fuck.
Yeah, because he was an owl.
Keeps making me talk to him.
Yeah, and then I tried pressing A and it made
Exactly,
me repeat
yeah.
the dialogue again. Like,
I had to quit the
fuck.
game because I couldn't get out of that fucking dialogue.
So scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really didn't like the redeads, but there are parts of both Ocarina of Time...
Dead. I get it. Okay.
Yep. there are parts of Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker that you cannot progress unless you go through an area with redeads in it. Like, they are a mandatory part of the experience.
Yeah.
And I had to do it, so I just put my TV on mute and then, like, kind of looked away, like, closed one of my eyes and, like, half looked at the screen while I did it.
It's very good.
That's how scared I was of them. Anyway, yeah, Breath of the Wild, maybe. Animal Crossing.
Oh man, I swear I have a good answer for this somewhere in my head.
Look at my games that are on my shelf.
Silent Hill 2.
Yeah, like the only places I really hang out are like Oblivion. I spent a lot of time kind of hanging out in, just kind of like I very, very, very rarely engage with like house mechanics in any video game or things like that. And Oblivion was the only game where I spent time like arranging my house, just because I had this weird character who, like, I made it a goal in one of my playthroughs to find all the unpublished quests. So there's a bunch of quests in Oblivion that don't show up in your journal, but are quests within the game. And they all have like unique items at the end of them that look different. And I was like, I got all of them, and I put them all up in all of the fucking display cases in the house. That are like, I don't know, Proteus is a cool, weird indie game that is beautiful and is nice. But I don't know if I could live there. It's mainly just everything in the world makes noise. What's your second? What about you?
Fifth Element, maybe? I don't know.
Ooh, yeah.
It's good.
It's easier to think of bad examples for this question.
Definitely, yeah.
Like?
Such as...
Hotline Miami.
Hotline Miami.
Fallout.
Papers, Please. That's a bad one.
What if you're just in a different country, you know?
True. You could...
You might as well be right now.
You could live in the Western world in that game and be okay.
You kind of are right now.
Yeah.
Papers, Please is happening somewhere right now.
Yeah. The world of Full Metal
Unfortunately.
Alchemist seemed cool. I like that idea.
Dark Souls would be a bad choice.
Bad choice.
Castlevania.
No. Everyone's names are backwards, trying to hide their fucking real identity.
No, it's just
Try
everyone's like, oh shit, what do I name this kid? I'll just write my name backwards.
I'm a genius.
Vlad Tepes.
I was listening to some old Castlevania music recently because of the Smash trailer.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
Oh, that was such a good trailer.
Smash looks like it's gonna be really good.
The remixes they're making for the different soundtracks in that game, like
Yeah.
the remix they did of Snake Eater, and now the one they did of Bloody Tears and Monster Dance they put together. God, they sound so good.
Castlevania is really good. Never played it, but like the anime is really good. The anime on Netflix is good.
Damn it.
Wait, there's an anime on Netflix?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
it's really good.
It's the original games are good. I don't. Fuck, I keep forgetting I don't have Super Castlevania, but I wish I did because God, that game's good.
I used to have Super Ghosts and Goblins, and I've never beaten the second level.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's a garbage game.
I've heard it's hard. I didn't play it. Never played it.
Never played it. I hate it. It's bad.
Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna double down on Elder Scrolls Universe.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna
I'll
go
stick
with
with that.
Fifth Element
Okay.
universe
Yeah, that works.
because I like Chris Tucker in that movie.
So you want to be Chris Tucker?
No,
If you come up with more examples, we'll put them in.
but he's a
leftovers.
radio host in that movie. I can turn him on whenever I want, and it's just Chris Tucker on the radio.
Nice.
All right, what's your
great.
second question?
What's a purchase that you thought was a good investment, but it turned out to be a shitty one?
I was gonna
And
ask
the
the same
inverse.
question.
And the inverse, where you thought it was going to be, it's an impulse buy, but it turned out to be a good investment.
I was gonna ask that question. You motherfucker.
Well, I read your mind, Matt. It's not a big deal.
It's okay.
What a great question, Matt. I'm glad you asked
It's a good thing I always bring two questions with me.
Get it in post. Just record yourself.
It's a good
afterwards.
question. I never asked it.
This question has a very easy answer for me. About a year ago, I bought 2 lapel mics that I intended to use for live streaming and recording Let's Plays, because I thought that'd be more convenient than these. Didn't like the sound quality and just never ended up using them. And each one cost about $100.
Can you return
and they're
them?
still sitting in my closet. No return, and I haven't had any success selling them
Why no
since.
return?
Just like because I got them from some website that
stole them.
they were on sale.
Oh, yeah.
But their return policy was really shitty.
Yeah, $100 from a shitty website for lav mics, dude. They're gonna be shitty.
They were supposed
The
to be
website's
good,
called
though.
Shitty Website.
Shitty lapel mics bad. Anyway,
Bad.
the inverse of that would have to be my PC. I bought all the parts and put it together myself, and like probably the best return on investment I've ever had. Like this thing has just been fantastic.
Cool.
For me, the worst thing was my Lenovo laptop that I bought for like $1,000 in the first year of university. That thing was a piece of garbage, and I hate it. And I wish I could light it on fire if it wasn't bad for the environment. Fuck Lenovo. Fuck all their laptops that they made. I hate you. Why'd you put spyware on my fucking laptop that you sold to me? You asshole company. I hate you.
There goes our sponsor deal.
Yeah. This episode brought to you by that garbage fire of a company named Lenovo. As for the inverse,
What about your most recent laptop?
I was thinking
yeah,
Yeah.
my
one
most
that you paid
recent
literally no money
nothing for.
Yeah.
In other news, I
Keep
got
it
all
hush
that.
hush. They might like
Oh yeah, they might know.
hound you now.
Yeah, no,
Some
yeah, okay,
guy-
yeah, I'll say that. Why not? Yeah, the best purchase I ever made was when I didn't make it all. I bought a Dell XPS 15 using PayPal as my provider, and they never charged me for it. And so, yay. So I've gotten way more value out of that.
and it was an expensive laptop
It
too.
was. It was very
It was
expensive.
a beefy gaming laptop.
Beefy. Yeah. And now it's still good. I've had it for like half a year. It's great.
Wow.
I recommend it if you can do that. If you can get your laptop for free, do it.
Do it, yeah. I was turning into laptop cast because my worst purchase is my laptop.
We were talking
Also-
about this, yeah.
Yeah. It just melted. It literally just melted. And now I can't use it anymore. It's the Aorus X5.
Don't buy that.
Fuck that laptop.
Yeah.
Apparently. Never
Yeah,
played it.
definitely. Oh, one before that was also a laptop. It's the 2011 MacBook Pro 15-inch, and that was the only generation that had shitty fans
Oh, yeah?
and like some bugs with the motherboard, where people were like outraged at Apple for this specific model that I have.
You're telling me
at
that
home still.
You're telling me that
Apple
people were outraged at Apple?
Yes. But like the port selection was okay, the performance was good, but there was some weird shit going on with the motherboard where it wasn't like something that Apple would advertise that we did this and now people are mad at it, like getting rid of the headphone jack or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like just putting 2 holes on your laptop like the MacBook. But this laptop was really good, and then all of a sudden it would just turn off out of nowhere. And it still does that. And I'm really sad.
It sucks.
And the best investment unwittingly that I made was I actually don't have one. I just have bad luck with purchases. No, none. Nothing.
What about a car?
No, it's just it's expected. You know,
Yeah,
it didn't exceed expectations.
Yeah. A lot of the
Gets me
stuff
around.
that I've bought now, like even that laptop, if I didn't get for free, it would have just basically done the job that I expected it to do.
Yeah.
Right, for the amount I paid. Like I've started just going like, oh, I'm gonna spend the extra $1 to get things that do the thing I want to do rather than having a chance of being garbage. Right. And so like I was thinking maybe the first pair of headphones I bought, the Audio Technica ones that kind of got me into headphones. But no, those cost as much as they should have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I think like after now getting better headphones since, I'm just like, okay, yeah. I mean, those ones are like worse than those, but I mean, they're still good for the price. But yeah, I don't know. There aren't too many crazy deals in my life. Oh wait, no. I got an N64 and 6 games. That included Perfect Dark, Mario Party, Super Mario 64, Donkey Kong Country, and or not Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong 3D or whatever it was called.
64.
64, yeah. And GoldenEye, I think. Did I already say GoldenEye?
You said Perfect Dark.
Okay, yeah. Perfect Dark and GoldenEye. All of that $5. And I was like, and 2 controllers. And I was like, hell yeah. And I felt real bad because I obviously bought it off a mom who her son was in college at the time and had left the house. And I was like, I will buy this. I will. If I don't, some other person is. That's how I rationalized it in my mind.
Yep.
And now I have 3 Nintendo 64 consoles.
The one you bought, was it transparent?
No, it was. They're all 3 the
Garbage.
same model.
You should make it transparent.
I also have like 2 copies of GoldenEye and 2 copies of Perfect Dark now. I shouldn't have bought it, but it was a good deal. It was a good deal.
$5. Yeah, wow.
$5 I also got a SNES with Gradius 2 in it, free.
Oh, okay.
This guy's just the free stuff's falling into his lap like
that's
it's nothing.
called going garage sailing about 3 years ago.
Okay.
Because now online selling shit has become so prevalent in just like the past 3 years. Garage sales are garbage now, but back then, holy shit, it was the best place to go get just retro gaming shit.
Yeah.
So good. Also, I got the first album by Prozac. Do you remember that group?
Prozac?
Yeah. They were like gorillas, but for pop music.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, Gorillaz is pop music.
I mean, Gorillaz started out as like fringe hip hop kind of.
Yeah.
Right. But Prozac, they had a song called Strange Disease. Or I got a strange disease.
Oh wow, the song called Strange Disease.
Thank you. Yeah, I realized my idiocy as I was saying it. Anyways, it's a bad album, but I got it for 10 cents.
10 cents?
Garage sales are just sick.
All my friends are dying. They got a strange disease. It's called
Shit. Oh, fuck. I'm dying.
What?
Disease.
Is this actually how the song goes?
No, this is a different song by one of the guys from Car Seat Headrest.
Oh. I could play it if I... So the thing I was going to grab was the adapter for this, because I can't play the music through the mixer unless I have it.
You said you would.
It's right there.
Yeah, but I need the lightning converter.
Oh.
So talk away. I will go grab it.
Well, you don't... Okay.
Matt has left the podcast.
Yeah, this is our podcast now. Shaolin Shadowbox. With the Wu-Tang sword style.
I have a question to ask.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
you were
here we
supposed
go.
to. Okay.
There's a cabin in the woods.
Is this like one of those moral quandaries?
No.
Okay.
There's a cabin in the woods, and it's full of dead people. They were not murdered, and they did not die of natural causes. How did they die?
They were in the movie Cabin in the Woods?
No.
They did not die of natural causes.
Yeah.
And it was not murder. Yeah. Suicide?
Oh, it was not suicide either.
Oh, okay. Well, you should have
Sorry. Yeah. No, yeah. Also, okay. Well, I also have a hint if you need a hint at some point.
Okay. So, Cabin in the Woods. How many? Is there a number of people?
Let's say 20.
20 people are dead. They did not die of natural causes. So, does that include disease?
Yes.
They did not die of murder or suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Cabin in the woods. I feel like the answer is in the question somewhere. Cabin.
It's a trick question. They're all animals and they're mounted on the walls of the inside of the cabin.
You'd think, but no.
That's technically murder. Isn't it?
But are animals people?
Well, they aren't.
There are 20 dead people.
Oh, yeah, he said.
They are people. Yeah.
Well, there's 20 dead people
This is a weird.
mounted on the
This
wall.
is a weird question because it has a single.
Yeah, it's a riddle. I'm
concrete
asking you a riddle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've twisted. This is just Logan's twisted slant on ask a question.
Logan,
I prepped this for this episode. Okay,
Logan
I was just like,
imparts
you know
a
what?
riddle.
Fuck, I'm gonna ask a riddle.
Riddle.
Do you want your hint?
Matt, what do you think? Should we take the hint?
Yeah,
Let's take the hint.
Okay. It is likely that some of them were eating peanuts at the time of their death.
They all choked on peanuts.
No, they're not allergic to peanuts though.
But
that would be included in diseases and natural causes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is likely they were eating peanuts when they died.
When do you eat peanuts?
When do you eat peanuts? There's not really any time where I'm just sitting down and this is the time when I eat peanuts.
No, well, I'm thinking
And now I'm dead.
And now I have perished.
Now I have died.
there's something happening that involves some of the people are eating peanuts.
It is likely that some or possibly all of them were eating peanuts before they died, but very unlikely that all of them were.
This is such a
Or
strange
that they
riddle.
were close to they ate peanuts like relatively close to when they died.
I got nothing.
Already? You want the answer?
Yeah.
Wait, no.
Okay,
No?
okay.
They were eating peanuts.
Yes.
It's likely that they were eating
likely,
peanuts.
yeah, close to when they died.
Fuck, this is... Okay, give me the answer.
All right. They were in the cabin of an airplane, and the airplane crashed in the center of the woods, and they all died. All of my co-hosts have taken off their headphones and are now leaving the room. Thank you for coming to Quizzicast. This has been a great episode. I really enjoyed your company, and I'm glad that you could join me on this wonderful experience. It's a good riddle, guys.
It's
talking
absolute horse shit.
Are you kidding me? It's an all right riddle.
It's terrible.
What's wrong with it?
Okay, so now it's time for my question. This is my backup question since Sandy stole my original one.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of your favorite? It doesn't have to be just one. What are some of your favorite main menus from video games?
I wonder where the inspiration from this came from.
One of the Arkham games where Batman's just beating up people.
Oh, right.
In slow
From
motion.
Asylum.
Yeah.
Wait.
Or no, not Asylum City.
I think it's City.
I was like in Asylum. I think it's just him standing.
Yeah. On a gargoyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking all Batman-y.
Yeah, and the Arkham Knight menu is just details of his new mecha suit.
My parents are dead.
Shake it, parents. Those alien bastards are gonna pay for ruining my Batmobile. What's another good menu?
I'm trying to think. Yeah.
Well, while you guys think, I do have at least one answer.
Okay.
What is it?
Because this is a game I had to play recently.
Yeah.
Was Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Bit of an interesting choice, I know, but
What's the menu in that game?
What happened in the menu, Matthew?
we need like footage to accompany this, so we all know what we're talking about. I'll try to get it.
I've played the game. I never finished it, but I don't remember what the fucking title screen looks like.
The title screen for the DVD of Shaggy Dog starring Tim Allen.
Oh yeah, that one. I love that menu. Yeah,
Never
right.
seen it.
So I don't have video readily
You have an
available,
image?
but I have an image, and then I can play music to accompany it to kind of like set the tone.
I disagree with
What the
this
fuck
choice.
are you talking about, man?
Yeah, I disagree with this choice.
Cut this out.
Cut this up.
Hang on, bear with me.
Okay.
So I like it because, well, also the menu theme that plays is some of the most oppressive.
So you like
and
the
haunting
music in the menu. You don't like the menu.
Well, it's everything.
The menu is boring
everything
as
about
shit.
it.
Yeah, it's just words
the
with amnesia in
fucking
it.
name, and there's just a fucking This is why
That's
I couldn't
so
remember.
fucking
You know
vanilla.
why I couldn't remember this fucking menu? It's because it's boring as shit.
It's not memorable at all.
Yes, and then like the amnesia potion is going into the darkness, and the torch is animated normally.
It's called a fucking scene from the game.
Bro.
They just fucking rendered
so
a scene.
good.
Matt,
you know
what's
what
wrong
also
with
does
you?
that? Fucking Doom.
You know what?
Doom just shows the game being played.
You know what
It
also
has
does that?
sick music.
You know what also does that? Shaggy Dog starring Tim Allen.
What is this weak sauce milquetoast fucking bullshit garbage that you brought to the podcast this time?
You vanilla Wonder Bread
Whoa.
motherfucker.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, says the fucking person who couldn't get like half an hour into Bloodborne because he was too scared of it.
You try playing it in a fucking home theater, dude.
Yeah, I did. I literally did.
Alone?
Well, like no, but like I played
All right,
PT
Matt.
alone.
All right. Okay. Relax.
You fucking
Relax.
babies were in the back row.
All
I
right,
was in the
dude.
front row playing
Okay.
PT.
Okay, buddy.
On a home theater.
All right.
The
Okay.
surround sound.
Relax.
Oh
Relax.
my god. Fuck.
Okay. Okay, big boy. What do you want, a cookie? Get out of here.
Daddy's making fun of my menu choice because he's a little bitch.
It's a garbage
It's
menu.
a terrible menu. It has nothing to do with
It's
me
not-
being a little
I would
bitch.
like to- I would like to
We're gonna
interject.
listen to the menu theme.
It's not a terrible menu. It's just very, very
Normal.
Yeah, it's suitable.
It's not like particularly like it's not like Batman. Like
I love
he's
how it
beating
says
people up.
change
In slow
profile.
motion.
Yeah, like it's not unique, but I just think it's so good,
No,
and like the atmosphere is so oppressive.
I agree. the
Okay,
music
It is
okay.
throughout the
Okay.
game.
I thought you meant unique, like memorable. But if it's good, I mean,
almost
there's
like-
I mean,
so
like
many.
anything. Like I
there's
didn't.
so-
I didn't say like what's your favorite unique menu.
Okay,
I don't know. I feel like your favorite menu should be a good menu.
We're gonna listen to the menu.
No, okay, this is a good working menu.
Yeah, but that's just
But
every game.
when
is a
when you
fucking
said
working
favorite, I felt like that would be something
Yeah,
that
like
you know,
good.
would conjure
Listen.
up an image of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
menu.
Listen, I just love. I don't know what it is. I just love the main menu and menu theme for Amnesia, and I just love
Okay,
the atmosphere in that game.
all right.
I just think it's like one of the most effective
It's a
horror games
good
I've ever
I
menu.
played.
agree. I think Amnesia is a great game. Bad menu.
It's a good. I'll say it's a good menu even, but I still don't agree with your use of the word favorite as being a menu that works.
This is a weird episode.
Okay, let's see if
No, this is dumb.
Hang on, I'll play the theme and then we'll move on.
I gotta think of a fucking menu that I like. Oh yeah, I remember this. Yeah.
Can you turn that off, please? I'm shitting my pants right now.
Okay.
I have a very strong memory of playing this game when it first
Oh,
came
by the
out.
way, Sandy, a question for you.
What's up?
That was a weird noise. Yeah, the
That's my
intro.
bottle.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the mixer. I was a bit concerned
You
there.
heard a bit of that music, you immediately got paranoid. Oh shit.
For Halloween, do you want to do a live stream where you would play Amnesia?
No.
Good choice.
Because like I can't be scared by it anymore because I've already played it.
Uh huh.
So I need somebody else. I need another victim to play it with me.
I think I could.
Nope.
It's a horror game I haven't played. No, I don't want to do this. I don't want to look like an
I just
idiot on
don't
the
like
internet.
horror anything.
Yeah, fair.
It's like,
Plus, we already had Halloween in July.
yeah,
Yeah, but
you already did that.
I gotta get new video games for real Halloween.
Fair. Yeah.
Bloodborne's pretty good.
It's not a Halloween game, really.
I know.
I played it for last Halloween though.
Oh, did you?
You should play. What's that game by Double Fine? Trick or Treaters, something.
Yeah, I forget what it's called, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a good game.
All right, I'm gonna close my
It's a
menu.
good horror game.
My
No, it's a
great
good
menu
Halloween game.
Yeah, I know,
contribution. And I'm gonna look for my Steam library for more games where you guys.
To tear apart.
Here's the thing. Here's what I got from your question, Matt. As soon as you said that, I said Batman Arkham City. Because it's a memorable menu where
Yeah.
Batman's beating
Yeah.
people up in slow motion. That's what I thought you meant.
Yeah, fine. Like yeah.
Whereas when you said the Amnesia menu, Logan, having played the game, could not remember what the menu was like.
Well, I didn't like specify a particular qualifier for the menu. I didn't say
Okay.
what's your most memorable.
Okay, you said favorite menu. You just seem to have a shitty taste.
Just ripping into Matt this episode.
Yeah, wow.
Just the menu he pulled up.
It's true. The thing is, it's hard to defend Matt in this situation.
I still love you, man.
Well,
But like,
so
what
you
the
guys seem
fuck?
to have a bias against Amnesia in the first place.
I think Amnesia: The Dark Descent is a phenomenal game.
Yeah, and
Okay, I really
Logan's-
agree with your statement.
I
that
don't
it's
like
one
horror
of the
games,
best
so I'll
horror
say
games that's
no.
been released in recent memory, and I think it's the cause of the horror game revival that we're currently living in, and it's
Okay.
all because of Amnesia: The Dark Descent. It's a bad menu.
see, he's the neutral party.
Great sound
All right.
design, really good sound design, awesome music, bad menu.
Well, all right.
What's a good menu though? Nidhogg 2 has a great menu, but no one knows what that menu looks like.
Yeah, I don't either. It's bad.
Yeah, it probably is.
Never
Yeah.
played it.
And I hear God of War, the new one, has a great menu.
Oh yeah, because it flows right into the
Yeah, it has the
opening
yeah,
of the
yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah. And I think like yeah, you start it and then it just gives you the attack, like how to attack button, and then like
you
he chops down the tree down. Yeah. So that seems really good. Haven't played it though. Never played it. Never played it.
God of War.
I don't know. I don't. Can't think off the top of my head off some like really good menus. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I guess Black Ops.
Yeah, Black Ops was good just because it was like part of the game.
Speaking of just like UI in a game, okay, go ahead, Logan.
I was gonna say Super Hexagon just because I see it on Matt's screen as he's scrolling through games. But yeah, Super Hexagon has a really good menu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just like UI in a game. Sometimes I'll play a game where the UI does not feel right. Well, like I got Spider-Man 3 for the PS3, and when I booted it up, the menu was fine. Whatever. I don't even remember it. It was okay. But the choice of font and the formatting in the UI was so weird. I thought I got some bootleg version of Spider-Man 3 from like Hong Kong or something.
It's a lot of game UI, especially from like
that era.
Yeah, like the HD era did not treat games well when it first got into it, because before that, like resolutions were so low that font choice didn't really matter, and UI was very functional.
Yeah.
Right. And if you look at like old school like RPGs and stuff, the layout of shit is just fucking atrocious. But now UI is like much better,
Way
I'd
better,
say.
yeah.
And there's some really like Destiny has a really cool menu system and really like good use of like a controller led menu.
Yeah.
And so like there's people working on it that are doing real well. But yeah, there's no like, I'm sure there have been memorable menus that I've played, but I can't like bring them to mind.
Ground Zeroes was pretty good, where when you select a mission, Snake gets up from smoking a cigar.
Yeah. I think the Metal Gear Solid 4 also has him smoking on the menu, possibly. Or is it might just be a black screen.
And also you can zoom in on it.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You can zoom into like the actual UI elements and also like the camera to Snake.
That's become like a thing that Kojima does a lot, actually.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Matt, do you have something?
Yeah, no, this is tough. Like, I'm sure there are memorable menus.
Oh, you know what? Lisa. Fucking Lisa the fucking Painful has a phenomenal goddamn fucking menu. It's terrifying and awful. It's just like a child hanging from like a gallows, and it's just that. That's the only thing in the screen.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like right in the bottom. It has, I think, a very similar to that Amnesia music that's playing, and it just has like the options like new game in the corner or load game, and it's just this empty sky and this one hanging child. And it's just can you find the image of the fuck, I love that menu. I love that menu so much.
Yeah, you're right, that is a little disturbing.
Yeah. And is that Lisa? I think that's Lisa. So it just opens with this fucking hey, the character this game's named after.
Lisa's
there
dead.
She is. It sets the tone so well. Like you start up the game and you're like, oh,
okay.
Oh, and then you get to like the first scene or like one of the first scenes in the game, and it's like funny. And it's like weird, and it's this crazy whiplash punch that the game does to you constantly. It's so good. Fuck, that game's good.
Some of my favorite, not just games, but media, any media that does that, where you're kind of going back and forth between moments of comedy and moments of tragedy or what have you.
Yeah, here's another plug for David Lynch. Does that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. It's hard to come up with examples for this. Antichamber was kind of interesting in the sense that it was a room where like the menu signs were on the walls.
Yeah, I was trying to think of games that just had the menu that was
in the world.
Yeah, in the world, and I'm sure there's a bunch of them that I've played, but I just can't remember them. There's like a bunch of platformers I feel like that do that. But a lot of games just avoid this main menu even now. It was a big, like, this is something I found out recently, that the main menu is kind of a part of a console cert, a console certification process. Like, games need to have a press start menu in order for the console to recognize what controller is being used. Like, it was part of the hardware. And so now in like the modern console thing, that's kind of being thrown away. Like, Breath of the Wild, I didn't even know Breath of the Wild had a main menu until I was 30 hours into the game. And I finally turned off my Switch and turned it back on instead of just sleeping it. Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
That's menu talk.
That's a great menu debate.
The great menu debate where Matt was definitely wrong and everyone else was maybe right.
And
what
the
you guys got
cabin
against.
riddle was terrible too, by the way, Logan.
I know. I thought it would be better.
You know what?
Right?
Yeah.
You can cut it.
No, I'm gonna leave it in.
No, leave it in.
Yeah.
If I'm allowed to have a bad menu,
Right, I can have a
contribution,
terrible
You can
riddle.
have a fucking awful riddle.
Yeah.
Disagree. I think that riddle's good.
A plain cabin.
Yeah.
Suck a dick.
That's what a riddle is. You're supposed to use lateral thinking. Fuck.
Well, anyway, thank you for joining us.
Wow.
What a great ending.
It's been a real
Wait, what about leftovers? We don't have any leftovers?
Well, that's what I'm going to get to. Thank you, Logan.
All right,
I just
look
have
at
to
that.
find the music
Wow,
first.
just spoiling
Segue.
everything every week.
What the
Spoil
hell,
the section
man?
that's reoccurring.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Oh my god.
I only have a single leftover for this week.
Do we have any questions submitted?
No user submissions for this week.
That's all right.
Maybe next time.
Take your time, people.
I have one leftover. So last week we talked about the fidget spinner controller, and I
This is
asked,
our leftover.
well, is there a way we can configure this so you can beat Dark Souls with it? I'm trying to log into my laptop with one hand right now. And we talked about that for a while. This just in, and I think this actually happened like a week ago, some person has managed to defeat the Cleric Beast in Bloodborne using not only a DDR dance pad, but a rabbit,
Yeah.
a bunny rabbit dancing
this.
on the dance pad.
I saw this.
See if I can bring this clip up.
What?
There are so many levels of abstraction happening with the controls. I'll link this in the show notes for anybody else who wants to watch it.
You can put it down
I don't have anywhere to put it.
on that.
I don't want to bump things. So, for anybody listening on audio, this lady has a bunny rabbit on her Dance Dance Revolution pad, and she's using a little toy to guide it around the pad to make things happen in the game.
That rabbit's gotten farther into Bloodborne than I have.
Yep.
What the fuck is this garbage? This is the stupidest shit I've ever seen.
This is
No,
like
watch.
a 6-minute clip. And she's just guiding the rabbit around the dance pad.
How high level is her character?
I think the rabbit. Okay, you want to answer that question?
I don't actually know.
I think
Well,
her
we don't
character is
know.
very high level, and that's why this is
I mean,
working.
it's decent level, judging by how much health she.
Yeah, I think this is just, like, the character is so strong that basically if you attack once... Because Cleric Beast is an optional boss, so
Yeah.
she could have just, like, played the entire game and then done this. Because, yeah, she's taking so many hits and taking, like, no fucking damage. Like, the Cleric Beast does far more damage than what's currently being done to her.
Well, nonetheless,
There are videos of the same rabbit beating some Dark Souls boss as well.
Fucking...
yeah, and normally, like, it seems her Twitch stream is just her beating, going through Dark Souls.
I mean, it's got
Soulsborne
everything.
games.
It's got the Souls games. It's got cute rabbits. It's got DDR. It's everything you need in a stream.
Yeah, it is the ultimate stream.
Yeah.
We've reached peak Twitch
Yeah.
stream.
We can stop. We can shut Twitch down now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a shame because now we can't do the next Halloween stream with Amnesia,
Yeah.
And we'll just go to Justin TV.
unfortunately. I'm going to do a 24-hour Halloween
gonna mix
stream
her.
where I just stay on the main menu of Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
And just talk about how good it is.
Yeah, I'm just
Like,
really...
man, look at get it. Bring in experts. Get Edmund
Yeah.
McMillan to come on and say how good this menu is.
Or like Donald Norman for like a UX breakdown. Do that.
yeah.
Anyway, thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you again in a couple weeks. And this podcast will probably come out a little later than usual because I'm also finishing another video at the same time. But I'll try to get it out as soon as possible. Nonetheless, thank you again.
Yeah. Thank you. This was fun.
Talk to you next time.
Thank you. Thanks for having us in your ears.
I'm sorry about the riddle, and just bring me the blue pages. Just need the blue pages.
Don't give my brother the blue pages.
Blue pages. Do not
the dark pages.
Do not give the red pages to my brother. Do not give the red pages to me. The blue pages.
Don't give him the blue